everybody. Anybody that's watched my channel for any length of time knows that one of my priorities for prepping is food, and not just food storage, but food production. Well, one of the things that I want to be doing this year is I want to be trying to experiment and expand on my garden a little bit. One of those experiments involves potatoes. Now, I attempted to grow some potatoes last year in hills in the garden itself without a lot of success. I mean, I didn't really get anything. In fact, I only got 2 or 3 of the original tubers back, and that was it. And they were really small seed size. But this year, I want to try that again. But I also want to try growing some in 5-gallon buckets, and I want to try to do a potato tower, and I want to compare the results at the end of the year. But right now, I've got 2 5-gallon buckets, which I have filled about 1/3 of the way with, I'm reusing some soil from some of my former container gardening experiments that I've done. I've had some big pots. I tend to keep the soil and try to rework it and reuse it every time I get. But, so I've got each of these buckets filled about 1/3 of the way with that. I'm going to fill it probably another 1/3 with some of this bagged soil I got from the store. This is a raised bed garden mix, natural and organic. And I've got 2 different types of potatoes that I'm going to be planting. I've got a bag here of the red seed potatoes. I want to be planting those. And then I've got some white potatoes, seed potatoes that I got from the farm supply store, the feed store. But anyway, I'm going to add some of this raised bed mix into the 5-gallon buckets to about 1/3 of the way. I want to bring them up to right about here. I want to leave a couple of inches of headspace on the bucket. So I'm going to do that now. Some loud helicopters. Now this is like I said, a raised bed mix I bought at the store. It was like $9.48 for this bag. And this is a really rich soil. It has a lot of material in it. You know, see little bitty sticks, twigs, and it's really loose, light material. It should do really good for these potatoes, but at least that's what I'm hoping. It's kind of clumped up in the bag, so I'm wanting to break it apart a little bit here as I put it in. But yeah, it's a really nice, loose, black material. All right, so there's that one. All right, so let me give you a look at what I've done here. That's about how much I filled it up. So you want to leave some head space so that when you put your potatoes in here, you can cover them with some more dirt. Now these, a lot of potatoes, a lot of seed potatoes, if they're larger, you can cut them into pieces where there's one of these eyes on each piece. But these are so small, I'm just going to be planting them whole. Now I'm going to do probably 4 per bucket. I'm going to see how much room that gives me. And you want to place them where the eye is actually pointing up. And from what I've read, what I've seen, each one of these eyes that grows into a plant will put off 3 or 4 potatoes each. So if you put 4 potatoes in here and each potato has like 2 eyes, that will make about 8 plants. Well, you should be able to get somewhere in the neighborhood of 20-24 potatoes off of it, theoretically. All right, so yeah, give you another look here. 4 is all I'm going to be able to fit into this bucket. So now I'm going to take and finish covering that up. I don't want to pack it down. I want it nice and loose so that the plants can grow up through the soil fairly easily. And at the same time, potatoes don't form well in really heavy clay soil, which is one reason why I'm wanting to experiment with the bucket method, because my soil here has a lot of clay in it. And that may be one of the issues that I had last year growing them in the garden. All right, now that looks pretty good right there. I've still got about 1 inch of space right here at the top from the soil level all the way to the top. That'll give me room to water it without it overflowing. Plus, if the potatoes grow, sometimes they tend to raise up above the soil level. That'll give me some room to add a little bit more soil later on if I need to cover up those top potatoes. So I'm doing white potatoes in this bucket. In this one, I'm gonna do the red potatoes here. And I'll be starting more buckets. These aren't the only ones I'll be doing, but this is sufficient for the video. Oh yeah, these have got some nice, these are already starting to grow really nicely. So they've got some nice eyes, nice growth on them. There's actually 5 potatoes in this. I might try to go ahead and fit all 5 into this one bucket. It'll be a little tight, but oh yeah, that's got some good growth on it already. Now, you don't want to plant them so deep that all of this growth has to struggle to get up through the soil. See, one of the problems is people think if you keep building up, as the vine grows and you keep closing in on it, it'll produce more and more potatoes off the side, but it doesn't grow up. Potatoes grow down. So what ends up happening when they do that is that the potato has a finite amount of energy inside the actual seed potato to produce these sprouts. And if they have to keep fighting up through the soil and up through the mulch and whatever, they burn up all their energy trying to break the surface and get to the sun, that they don't have enough energy left to actually produce any potatoes. So you don't want to plant them so deep and keep piling on and on and on. You only want to cover them, aside from the original mounding, you only want to cover them one more time. But bear in mind, potatoes don't grow up like you would see in some of these towers that people use. They plant them at the bottom and try to get them to grow up and up and up. That's not how it works. They grow down. The roots go down. actually leave that one like it is. All right, so I managed to get all 5 of the red potatoes in here. It was a tight fit. We'll see how it does. These are the white potatoes. I had 4 in here. I've still got more left that I'm going to save for more buckets. But again, this is just an experiment. I plan on coming back at the end of the year and showing you guys what my results are based on the bucket, a tower, and in the garden itself in a mound. So, got these started. I'm going to do some more, and in a few days when it dries up enough, I'm going to be tilling up my garden, and I'll go ahead and plant the ones in the garden then. We've had a lot of rain, so I've got to let everything dry out first. But those are the 3 ways that I'm going to be growing potatoes this year, and hopefully I'll have better results than I did last year. Last year I didn't get anything, but then I didn't really, it was my first time trying to grow potatoes. And it's a learning experience. Gardening has a major learning curve to it. So you can't expect to put seeds back in your survival cans and in your preps and then expect when things go south to just go out there, throw seeds in the ground and things are going to grow. That's not how it works. You need to actually be trying to grow things now while you have the flexibility to get stuff from the store, because there is a steep learning curve to learning how to do some of this stuff. You're going to make mistakes, you're going to have losses. So learn now while you have the stores to fall back on if it doesn't work out. All right, that's all I've got for right now. I'm going to be making some more videos over the next few days, but I just wanted to do a quick video on my potato experiments for this year's garden. 5-gallon bucket. I'm going to do a potato tower and in the ground, and we'll see which one produces best. All right, with that, that's all I've got. Appreciate you guys watching. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Keep prepping, get busy, produce your own food, and until next time, take care. Catch you later.